Hi, everybody. Welcome back. And bit of a different format for things, new audio. Let's just see how it goes. But wanted to talk about something that has popped up on Reddit, and I reached out to fellow creator, call me Lonnie, for his thoughts on this one as a Chase Sapphire Reserve holder. Now, the Chase Sapphire Reserve folks are getting emails about the Chase Sapphire Reserve and the $300 travel credit coming up toward the end of the year. So typically the $300 travel credit, the first $300 spent on travel every year is credited back to your account. And it doesn't matter what that travel is. If it's $300 in parking fees, commuter rail, Amtrak, airlines, hotels, Airbnb, online travel agencies, anything booked through the Chase travel portal, your first $300 gets credited back to you. Then you start earning points in the travel categories, whether it is hotels through the portal or hotels in general, et cetera, et cetera. So folks are getting an email about their 2024 travel credit, especially folks who have that travel credit in December. Now, what it sounds like, it might be folks who have an older version of the card. And by the older, I mean applied for the card when it first launched. And we're seeing evidence online, and Lonnie got an email about this, so we're going to talk about that. And what I'm seeing online on Reddit is snippets of an email being posted. So the email reads to one Reddit poster. This is in the Chase Sapphire subreddit by user Comprehensive End. So they've just posted a snippet. The snippet reads as follows: does not include any information about the poster, which is great. So here's everything verbatim. Here's a summary of what to expect. Like in years past, your $300 annual travel credit will reset in December, and you will start to receive statement credits for travel purchases. On December 30th of 2024, any unused portion of your $300 credit will be applied to your account as a statement credit. Starting in 2025, your $300 annual travel credit will then reset annually on February date given, and will start receiving statement credits up to $300 for your travel purchases. All other reward program terms continue to apply. So folks who have December dates are getting pushed out a little bit further. Now, there seems to be some immediate reaction of, oh, this might be a double dip. Lonnie's going to explain what he thinks is the difference here. So we do have a good snippet on that. And my thoughts on this, it seems that I'm not sure exactly what's going on here. I'm not sure what sort of Chase Sapphire Reserve holders are being targeted with this email and how this email is going out. So I can't say for certain what is happening. I got my Sapphire Reserve in March of 2023. My statement that has my $300 credit is in April. So I don't start getting my travel credit until April. And so I guess I'll be on the lookout in a couple of months just to see if something updates here. But it would appear that folks who had an older version of the card and were grandfathered in with their annual credit for travel, I guess I'm not 100% sure, but Lonnie received the email. Lonnie wanted to talk to me about it, and I wanted to talk to Lonnie about it because Lonnie holds the card, and he was specifically targeted. So I knew someone who got targeted, wanted to get some additional information. So we talked for a couple minutes. Hopefully you guys enjoy that, and I'm going to leave it there. But if you like what I do, hit the like and subscribe button. If you like the new audio, please let me know. It is recorded now on an Elgato Wave, which is a nice little bit of kit. And we're recording through StreamYard tonight, trying something new. If you like the setup, let me know down in the comments. If you like what I do and want to support me in what I do, definitely check out the pinned comment down below. Hit the like and subscribe button. And things are always a work in progress. And if you want to definitely continue to support the channel here on YouTube personally, please hit the link for memberships and join the Tidbit Collectors. I'll be back with a longer form tidbits at some point in the near future. There's a lot to talk about at the beginning of the month of October. So talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much. And here is the mini interview Lonnie and I had. And joining me with his thoughts on this particular subject, we've got Lonnie from the Call Me Lonnie channel. Now, Lonnie, the Chase Sapphire Reserve, I know, is a card that you've held for a number of years.
Quite a while.
You've held it since the beginning, right?
Pretty much so, yes. Yeah, I think 2016, 2017, yeah.
So did you receive an email about this today?
I did, actually. So I know there's a couple of emails circulating around, and the ones that I've seen online, like on Reddit, is very similar. Well, it's exactly like mine. So my account anniversary resets in December. So I haven't received my anniversary reset for 2024 quite yet. So I definitely fall into some of the impacted or the similar scenarios as what most people are seeing online at the moment. Um, and that's only because I haven't received that credit yet. Now, going back to said email, basically, in short, what it says is, hey, your account anniversary resets in December. And I'm speaking for me, that is. Your account anniversary resets in December. What we're going to do is give you your $300 credit in December, business as usual. But if you don't use it by the end of December, whatever remaining portion you have will be credited back to you as a statement credit at the end of that said statement. Then, starting in January, and in my case, this date might be different, but mine said January 14th, I'll receive a new $300 credit that now goes back to travel. So that's the basis of the email. Now, there's some pros and cons there, but I'm going to pause there for you.
Sure. So by statement credit, this would be whatever's not used. So if you only spend $200, you're going to get $100 back on your card just for December.
Yes. Now, if I understand this correctly, it is still a $300 travel credit. But because they're only giving me 2.5, 3.5, whatever weeks to use it, whatever remaining balance, even if it's not used on travel, as you had mentioned, let's say I used $100, I had $200 left, I'll get a $200 statement credit instead. That's a huge pro because that means I could technically get a full $300 credit on any category, not just travel, because I was not able to use all 300 before the end of 2024.
No, with this new updated date, is this going to change your particular travel strategy, or how have you used this credit, given that you would typically get it in December? Like, would you just go into that next year and then relapse, or like how did you use this credit, and how does this change your credit going forward?
So two parts to that question, and actually, it's also a great question. The first thing is because of when I got the card, and like I said, way back when 2017, 2016, whatever year that was like as they were still doing the $100,000 welcome bonus. I'm sorry, 100,000 point welcome bonus.
That's not something
So
I always correct you on.
yes. So I was able to receive that 100,000 point welcome bonus. And that's why I got it in December, right before all of that ended. Like I said, whichever year that was.
Mhm.
Now, the negative aspect of it is because my credit always came in December, I would usually end up burning it on stuff I really didn't care for. I don't really like have a whole lot of travel plans or travel being booked in December because it's holiday season. And what I mean by that is my $300 credit would go to like a quick trip home for the holidays to see my parents, maybe a lift while I am traveling because, it would come off of that. And of course, Lyft has the 10x on Sapphire Reserve. So it's my default payment instantly in my Lyft app. So I would lose it on something like that, or at least portion of it. And then come January, February, I'll finish booking and use the rest because you have the entire year to use it all. Now, to answer the second part of your question, does this change anything for me? Not really, because it's really just like a 4-week difference between when I'm going to receive my credit now. Before it was in December, going forward, it'll now be in January. But it allows me two things actually. The first thing is I can now plan around that $300 travel credit more easily at the top of the year versus like I'm taking a quick trip. We're gonna go up north to Wisconsin to visit, the wife's side of the family. Like, well, let's rent a quick rental car or
Mhm.
something like that, which would instantly burn it versus actually use it for a vacation. Now that December is out of the way, I can actually use it towards a vacation. Now, the second thing that I see as a pro here is I call it a double dip. And I know you and I had just talked. It's not a real double dip, but
Right.
I'm actually going to get about $600 within a 4-week time frame. Once again, it's not a double dip. I'm getting my $300 credit for 2024 and a $300 credit for 2025, but I'm getting them in December and January. which means, let's say I wanted to book a flight. I could book my flight in December for a
Mhm.
trip and then turn around and just book my hotel in January for that same trip, double dipping on those particular credits. Or let's say there was a vacation you're prepaying for, something like an all-inclusive resort or a cruise that has down payments. You can put payments on it for an extended period of time. I could put $300 towards that down payment or that vacation in December, and now also turn around and do it again, put the remaining $300, my 2025 $300 that is, in January, versus having to wait another 11 months, another 12 months, or wait till December of 2025 to get my credit back again, for it to recycle, that is.
So do you think this is a net so you mentioned pros and cons before.
Mhm.
Are there how many pros, how many cons do you have on this?
I see this as two pros and one con as of right now. But the thing is, I don't really see the con as that heavy. It's really
Sure.
not, because for all those, and there might be other people who resets in November or resets in October. I reset in December. It's not that big of a deal for me for a 4 week difference, because those
Mhm.
4 weeks between December and January, I'm not really doing too much. So it's not that big of a con. The only other con would be if you actually did plan around when that account anniversary hit with your Sapphire Reserve, then yes, it's changing everything up. But 4 weeks is not really changing too much for me. Maybe October to January, that could affect certain people way more with that 3-4 month gap versus me with a 4 week gap.
And do you think this is a net positive, net negative for the card? Do you think do you what other thoughts do you have on this at the moment?
I personally I see it as a net neutral, to be honest. So it's not really a
Well,
good thing. It's not really a bad thing. I can only assume. Now, I don't I got the exact same email that most people got today, so I can't really say, like, look into the business decisions or say I talked to someone at Chase or whatever,
right.
but it sounds like they just want to align the credits. It might have been like too many people, so many card holders, so many credits being staggered was just too much for the company to like manage or deal with, and it's so much easier to just say, everybody will now get your credit in January, or the majority of people will now get credits in January. Like they might do break it up quarter for quarter for quarter across card holders or anything like that. Now, the reason why I say that's not so bad is actually a positive for the card company, for Chase, because now more people are going to be spending that credit
Mhm.
probably bunched together. And like, for example, how many people are now getting moved to January like I am? How much more travel, how much more card spend is going to come in January because now so many people have their credit comes in January. But that's why I say it's not really a positive. I mean, I'm still getting my money. I'm still getting my
Mhm.
credit. I still get my $300 every 12 months. But it's also not really a negative. It's not really hurting us as consumers. It's definitely not hurting me as consumers. So net neutral.
Absolutely. One last question on this. Do you think this is indicative of anything bigger? A refresh on the card, an introduction to a higher card, a clearing the decks for a higher card? Do you think this is indicative of anything, or this is just they needed to make a change to the back end of the year, and this is the way that they've decided to handle it by kind of giving that double credit?
I'm gonna say more of the latter than the former. It's probably more back end stuff on Chase than it is front end stuff of what's to come.
Mhm.
Now, I know where you're going with this question, Matt. And yes, I think they do need to refresh some stuff. It would be nice for them to add in some more stuff or potentially create another product, as long as that new product is not annual feed out the wazoo. I think it'll be it'll be great. Um, but what's funny is I just recorded my next video primarily focused on the Chase Sapphire Reserve. So for y'all, all y'all watching, hit subscribe, come check it out. It'll be out hopefully within the next couple of days whenever Matt launches, uploads, and turns this video on. Um, but I personally see the Chase Sapphire Reserve as one of those cards. It's almost like an apex predator. It doesn't need to evolve too much. If
Right.
you take advantage of the basis, the stuff that's been there from day one, and you fully look into it, know how to use it, plus understand its protections, because it does have some of the best travel protections out there. What really can they evolve outside of DoorDash credit, Instacart credit, those small things, those minute things? But the major things that make the card what it is, I think it's fine. There's not a lot to do to make it better in that regard without affecting the annual fee that is, other than creating a new product, which, of course, more product, more competition, we win as consumers.
Definitely. And hopefully, if there is a new product, not that I'm expecting a new product or anything like that, I just hope that Chase doesn't do to the Sapphire Reserve what Capital One did to the Venture when they launched the Venture X, just completely cannibalize it.
Yeah, don't
Um,
do that. Like,
yeah,
let's not take the $300 credit and make it Chase Travel Portal only. Like, keep it the way it is. Keep it free and loose, just the way it is. That type of stuff, and no one will have a problem.
absolutely. Well, Lonnie, thank you so much for your insights here, and let's see what happens next.
Absolutely, appreciate it, Matt.
Thank you.